Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Pabs, a racing VTuber and an artist, and today we're going to be doing a little bit more work on the comic that we have been rough drafting for a little while now. Let me find the Clip Studio Paint resource. Ah, perfect. Yeah, very exciting stuff. I finally ported over the. Hang on, let me make a new comic page. So I finally ported over both the laser rifle that we started on stream. You can see it here. I feel like I did a pretty good job. Second time around, second time's charm. So this should be really useful in the future now that if I draw the gun more frequently. This is going to be like this is like the analog to the M14, so it's going to be a very common sight. And then there's also the laser pistol that we designed on stream. That one's much smaller, perhaps too small even, but it looks like it looks like a little saber thing. I think it's kind of cute, honestly. It's got the two little exhaust ports at the top, and it has a tiny little. Let's zoom in on that. You can see that I added a little crosshair between the exhaust ports. I think that's a nice touch. So yes, very proud of how these came out. Let's see now. Yeah, today we're going to be starting work on page 6, and that's going to be one of my favorite pages because I think it's one of the more action heavy pages, right? So they've started pulling a gun on her. Shit's going down. It's gonna be great. All right, now let's see. Okay, panel 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I think the best way to do this is to emphasize panel 5 because I feel like that brings a lot of the action, which is going to be her getting tackled. So I'm going to carve out a nice big chunk for panel 5. Panel 4, panel 3. Okay. Okay, I've got an idea for how to do this. Okay, so let me open up. Hang on. Two things. First, let's actually lower the what do you call it? The gutter on panels 1 and 2. That pretty easily just by doing it like this. That way, we just have a nice little bit of extra room to work with. Then we need to pull up the last panel from page 5, which I can find very easily because I'm a guy who knows where he left his pages. I do actually know. I am actually a guy who knows where his pages are because I have very neatly categorized files. Let's go. I am often very proud of how neat my files are organized. Sometimes I have difficulties finding things, but I know that it's never because I didn't organize them. It's either because I am looking in the wrong place or because I just did not save them. Okay, so this is the last panel from the previous page. Okay, so how do we show her flying away on the jetpack with just barely dodging this laser shot? So I think what might be good is a perspective shot from the goon. Here we go. I'm gonna really need to research how people are supposed to hold guns particularly how people are supposed to hold flintlocks. Because here's a fun thing that I realized: if you don't give any of your guns modern grip, like the thing is, right? I've seen the kind of dude on Twitter, right, who will look at a picture of somebody holding a gun and be like, "Oh, he's not actually doing the T cup grip correctly. You're supposed to be holding it like this and like this." First of all, honestly, not a bad thing that they know that much about gun safety. Like, I feel like if somebody knows how to hold a gun properly, like that's much better than them not knowing how to hold a gun properly, right? Like, I'm the kind of person that even if it's a bad thing, I'm happy if the other person is more knowledgeable. But also, like, it's just a picture of like an anime girl holding an 6 hour or something. You don't need to get that worked up about it, bro. But yeah, I listen. I live in perpetual fear of people noticing small details that I got wrong. I need to, and the thing is, right? That's not even a bad. Okay, it's bad if it hinders my life, but it actually improves it to some extent because that way I get motivated to make sure that everything is accurate, or it's accurate and looks good. Yeah, one of the things that I'm happy with working up with Raf about is that Raf has an appreciation for like realism, right? It's like obviously we both want everything to look good and look nice, but I think like one of the highlights is that we both have kind of a soft spot for things that could actually work. It might be unrealistic to some extent, but it can work. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of that comes through for in my work in how much I like incorporating real science behind it. So, for example, in the kind of OC universe that I have, when you use magic, for example, your body actually starts heating up because you're using your entire body as a semiconductor, essentially. I think that's what a semiconductor does. It could just be a normal conductor. Anyway, we have the sights of the futuristic flintlock right here. I do wonder if I should only make the exhaust ports in on one of the little sides. On the other hand, it looks nice having it be, these dual plumes of smoke. I do like I was talking about this with Raph when we were designing the pistol originally. How since this is a flintlock, it does that thing that flintlocks do, which is that they blow smoke in your face as soon as you fired them. I kind of want to see what happens if we ever see the brain genius that designed this gun and was like, no, trust me, shooting hot air into the face of the wielder is extremely vital to the operation of this machine, bro. Trust. Science was supposed to make people's lives easier, but it never said for whom it made life easier. Okay. Now, see, the nice thing is I can shrink these arms. Actually, what might work better is if it's at a slight angle. Let's see, like this, like this, like this, like this, and then, or well, maybe a little to the left. Let me see if I can't eases out by transforming it. Oh yeah. This is much better. That angle makes a lot more sense. Okay, there we go. And now let's do the other plume of smoke. Okay, that's gonna fire. The difficult thing about showing how lasers fire is that unlike bullets, which unless there are tracer rounds, they generally don't show their trajectory. But you have to think really hard about the trajectory of this one. Good morning, Liv. How you doing? Okay, and then we'll show Hawk just rocketing away from here. Shot goes wide. Okay, making the jetpack over here. It's supposed to be his birthday? Oh hell yeah! Let me go send him a birthday message real quick. One minute. All right. Birthday wishes sent. My mission is complete. Let's see. Right. I learned about. Okay, so get this right. The other day, I saw that apparently the world's biggest marshmallow. Sorry, you said that she's. Oh, she's out getting her cake right now. My bad. Cake though, that's good. It's important to celebrate your birthday properly. Yeah, I was gonna say like with the confections and everything, it reminds me of the fact that like apparently they built the world's biggest marshmallow. I say build. Past a certain point, you don't make food anymore. You build it. Peach cake. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, the world's biggest marshmallow has been built in Mexico. Yeah, I think the thing that I read about it is that apparently it weighs as much as a grand piano or something. Let's see. I love it when things are related to weight in a measure I know absolutely nothing of. Like I guess a grand piano weighs kind of a lot. Here we go. Yeah, you can see a picture of it here from July 11th. The a chef dude in a chef's hat over here for comparison for size. Man, I cannot go on TikTok. I went out. I found this as like one of the only sources. So the TikTok that this came from was one of the only sources that reported on the giant marshmallow. And as I kind of glanced to my right, seeing what was in like the recommended for the videos leading up to this, I saw a thirst trap of a woman wearing a Guy Fawkes mask. I don't think I'm ready for that just yet. I don't think people are ready for the Guy Fawkes thirst trap era of the internet. I remember reading V for Vendetta when I was like 13, and that just being like a life changing experience. I think for the most part, that's either Anonymous or V for Vendetta. That's what most people know the Guy Fawkes mask from. Yeah. Well, what's that one meme template? They don't know it was originally like a massive gunpowder plot reference because they were British. I don't know. Do the British still remember the gunpowder plot? Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, the Guy Fawkes mask. The what do you call? Hang on. Let me Google this. This thing. And this is such a charming mask, and it's kind of a pity that it's been co-opted by so many pretentious people, including me. I did actually own a Guy Fawkes mask. Like I said, I was a little bit obsessed with V for Vendetta. Okay, then this other leggy back here. Okay, we do it like this and like this. Now, see, this leg feels too long. I need to move the hips down. I think that's what's bugging me about this. But yeah, going back to the giant marshmallow, weighs as much as a grand piano. First of all, I think a grand piano is one of those things that's fairly adjustable in terms of weight, right? Because you can make a grand piano out of lots of different materials using lots of different embellishments and such. A grand piano, I reckon, could weigh anywhere from between, I don't know, 300 kilograms to, well, no, probably less. How much could a grand piano really weigh? I mean, it's a solid thing of wood. Probably less than 200 kilos. On the lighter end. Yeah, and with this one, we can just have her climbing over the crate that she was just examining the gun over. There we go. Wait, does she hold on to the gun? Yeah, no, she doesn't. Okay, so I can just have her throw the rifle to the side back here. I don't know. I kind of want to have her scrambling to get over the box in this picture. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Oh yeah. So being that it was still such a it was a kind of a Hall of Fame or bonehead move. People are still in these news articles that I read talking about how dumb the Twitter rebrand is, right? And I heard one of the best phrases I've ever heard of in my life thanks to it. So, because X is such a popular name, right? It's a very popular symbol. A lot of people are saying, like, oh, right, they're going to get mad sued. And the phrase that this article used to describe such enterprising individuals was opportunistic and legitimate plaintiffs. That feels like the fanciest way you could say, yeah, no, a lot of people are gonna are going to definitely milk this for clout, but at the same time, can you blame them? Not only can you blame them, but also they have every right to do so. Opportunistic and legitimate plaintiffs. I feel like that's the kind of word that you say to a lawyer and like they get tingles like an ASMR. I remember once seeing a description of this one MMA fighter, and somebody described and said that every time somebody plays the clip of him throwing a guy, wheelchair salesmen get dollar signs in their eyes. I feel like that's kind of a similar situation to what's going on with the ex plaintiff things. I know for a fact that one of the big and funniest ones that has cropped up so far is from Gact, who is a famous visual K musician. If you've never heard of visual K, imagine rock music, imagine like glam rock, but with even kind of more effeminate, like gender nonconformity and very unique kind of premises. Gacta is the one of the singers for. I don't remember if he also plays an instrument. I know him more about him from just how do I put this? I feel like I've seen Gact, but I've never actually seen him in anything. He's like a mimetic entity to me. He's a person that exists to me, but I've never been able to place the guy properly. Anyway, X Japan, right? Famous visual K band. They I read about this one incident where apparently they introduced this thing called the X jump, where when they played a part of their song, the audience was supposed to jump in time with the music, right? And what ended up happening is that enough people started jumping at once when they did this that it caused a 1.1 magnitude earthquake, which isn't very much for an earthquake, but it's kind of a lot for human beings. Man, it's awesome how that can just happen. Okay, dodging out of the way there. I feel like I could almost have this higher up. But yeah, opportunistic and legitimate plaintiffs. Somebody needs to write that. Somebody needs to write that on a woodburn print, like "Live, Laugh, Love." Okay, there we go. Okay, this perspective is making zero sense. I need to erase Hawk and the crate. No, actually, Hawk is fine. The crate needs some attitude adjustment. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, no, this is still not making a whole lot of sense. The crate needs to be higher up, maybe. Or maybe, hang on. There's a lot of different maybes floating around, so I need to get my bearings. Okay, and what we can do is lift this leg a little bit higher so that it's a little bit more obvious that she's climbing onto the crate. Higher than that's probably still good. Okay, there we go. And then the little cap thing. Perfect. I might need to do a second pass of just this one panel just so that we have like a smidge of cleaner lines. Okay, just crate hopping like this. Okay, wait, no, I've got an idea for how to do this. All right, so the end of the crate is going to be around here, right? That's going to be non-negotiable. Then from here to around, I'm going to say right here, we're going to have the rest of the crate. Okay, yeah, that's going to work. I do want to shrink the helmet down just a smidge. Then I can move the arm over here. Perfect. Yeah. Today at work, so I've been at on the grind training at work, right? This whole week has just been training for me, right? And for the first time, I met one of my coworkers. So because I've been working from home a fair amount this time. I had a coworker who I hadn't really talked face to face to before today, who is a very nice young lady. She's a great lady, but the thing is, right? Today she was just telling me about how she'd been finding the experience at work so far, and it was astounding how much her current experience was reflecting like mine at her stage. Like I had a really difficult client sometime back in last year, right? And I was it got so bad that I straight up wanted to quit one time. Like that's how bad it got. And she was in the exact same boat, but like with this client, like it was like so scary. I was like, oh my god, so this is what it's like from the outside. Yeah. Thankfully, she's not going to be under stress for much longer. I think she's rolling out of the client sometime soon. But still, like it was incredible how much like her grief mirrored mine. It was kind of precious. It was kind of precious. I was legitimately moved. Oh, that poor girl. She seems to be holding on pretty well, though. You know, she hasn't had her spirit completely broken yet, which is more than what I can say for me at that age, or that phase, I should say. But yeah, I'm proud of her. I really am. Okay, and then like this. Yeah. I can't wait until I get like proper minions of my own, though. Once I become a manager or something, I'll have like I'll try to put together a decent contingent of minions for myself. I'll still have plenty of work to do, probably more since I'll have to look after my minions' work too. But I don't know. There's something very gratifying about having people who follow you. I mean, hell, I'm a Twitch streamer. You guys know what it's about. In the future, corporate managers will have to start tempting new interns with like the same way that Chinese warlords used to have to before China got united. They're gonna be like, if listen, you work 40 hours a week under me, and you get this sweet horse and warp hike. Come on. What do you say? What do you say? It'll be like that. Okay. So I need to remember where this is exactly. Let me open up page 4. I think I had some ruins back here, but I think it. If I move the wait, no, these crates just aren't put up against anything, unless. Hmm. I feel like these crates need to be up against something though, like maybe some kind of fence post or something. Maybe a car or some kind of jeep. Yeah, that might actually work. Some kind of a small delivery vehicle. No, I'm not gonna make a vehicle. That's a lot of work. But it makes sense though. Hmm. Maybe some kind of perimeter line? Let me read the previous pages real quick. Okay, so this isn't that far away from the main work site. So maybe we can have like hmm. Yeah, because having this like forklift thingy here is fine. I'm trying to think what kind of things there would be at the main work site. Again, I could just have it be open, but also I gotta make a real quick note here for myself for future pabs. Okay, look, if that's the case, then maybe taking another look at page 2 might actually help a lot. Yeah, okay. Okay, so maybe the place that Hawk checks out. Oh, I'm really proud of of how these like little scorch marks came out. So maybe the place that Hawk can check out is maybe like this building over here. Or maybe not that close, right? Hmm. Maybe she can do like a loop around. I think that would work actually. I don't know. I'll have to talk that through with Ref, but for the time being, let's maybe say that it's like because having these it kind of bugs me that these crates don't have anything to lean against, right? Because I would have put them up against a parapet or like a wall like here. It could just be a very shallow wall, but then okay, let's say shallow wall for now, right? All right, let's see. Yeah, we can have the rifle getting tossed to the side over here. Okay, anyway. Right, going back to the page that I was actually working on. Okay, toxin rolls when she hits the ground. Laser fire singeing the ground she rolls on. Oh, I do also have a reference for the firing pose. Okay, I see. Huh. Hang on, I'm gonna try something real quick. Alright. First, let's save our work on page 5, and then we can go back to page 6. I'm starting to lose track of these numbers. Let's see, body type. Okay, let's see if this thing has gotten any better, because I remember that this used to be not very good. So CSP has a pose scanner thing where it lets you take a picture and it lets you scan the pose to apply it to. Oh yeah, no, that's still awful. This is some JoJo pose. This is the most hardcore Cossack dance you've ever seen. This is kind of like what you want to do when like you have a cold and you feel like your windpipes all kind of like clogged up with mucus and you just want to squeeze it out. All right. Anyway, so we're not getting out of okay, we're not going to be able to pose scan that pose in particular, but that's fine. We don't need to worry about that. That was at best a plan B. Yeah, I think working on panel 3 might actually help a little bit because that way I have I can draw the second panel almost like a tween. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So that's how you hold a gun with two hands. I'm learning so much about the world today. Let's see. Okay, so all right, I know I just said I was gonna do this like a tween, but like, or like an in between. Are those called tweens? I feel like they are called tweens. All right, tucking in the chin, very important. I don't know how comfortable it would be to roll with this massive jetpack on your back. Like, I feel like that would hurt a lot. I don't know, if it's solid enough and wide enough, I don't think it'll be that much of a problem, but brain says yes, but my spinal cord says no. What was that one tweet that was like, the human body is amazing. Right now, if I wanted to, I could do 15% of a backflip. Okay. Okay, maybe we can have the shoulder raised so that she's pulling out the gun. I've done like a one-armed roll before. It's not unthinkable to say that somebody can pull out a gun during that. Speaking of which, I almost forgot the thigh holster, but I didn't. I remembered. I am invincible. Okay, and then there we go. This first finger's too fat. It looks a little bit like an orca. Okay, there we go. I just realized that it might be better to flip this the opposite way because no, actually, no, I'm fine. I'm a genius, actually. Because this way, hang on, I'm a genius, actually. Hang on. My brain is so awesome and sexy. All right, here we go. If we just kind of position her somewhere over here. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me find a picture of somebody tucking and rolling. I am getting a lot of hits from those two little freaks from A Bug's Life. Thanks, Disney. You assholes. Alright, here we go. Here's a good one. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to preemptively close this tab. First of all, because these little guys actually freak me out a little bit. And second of all, because I know that if I open up another reference and accidentally click to this tab, I might get so scared I pass out. Remember, artists, you don't need to get jump scared by your own canvas if you manage your windows properly. Where? Oh, oops. Wrong thing. Okay. Jump, tuck and roll. Hang on. Okay, no, those are just jump tucks. Yo, check this out, though. Sick flip. Anyway. See? If I hadn't closed that window, I would have gotten jump scared by tuck and roll from critically acclaimed Disney movie A Bug's Life. Alright. I'm going to erase Hawk's legs. That didn't sound quite right. I'm gonna redo the legs. Yeah, no, this looks a lot better already. Okay. Hang on. Here's what we can do actually, real quick. Is I'm gonna go to YouTube and I'm gonna Google parkour run and roll. Parkour epic roll or something. Landing and rolling. Here we go. All right. This one looks good. This one looks good. Let me pull this up. Okay, not quite what I was looking for. How about this? Ooh. Okay. All right. We're gonna set it to like 30% speed here. All right, go, 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 white boy, go. Okay, land. Okay. Oh, this is good. This is good. This is perfect, actually. This is exactly what I need. And actually, let me pay attention to his arm in the just before this too. Okay, no, so it is kind of like how I'm picturing, where you kind of just let the elbow follow its natural path. All right. Okay, very nice. All right, third try on the legs. Third try on the legs. Third time's the charm. Is this dude wearing? What are those kicks, bro? No, hang on, hang on, hang on. Let me get a good look at this dude's shoes. Like, I know this probably isn't what he was going for, but it does kind of look like he hunted and skinned a Buzz Lightyear to get these shoes for these fresh kicks. Yeah, my man has those. All right, hang on. I'm gonna need a second to coalesce this joke. I'm gonna pull on all my sources of Buzz Lightyear lore. No, no. I was gonna say, though he's got the Star Force ones, but no, that's not the name of the organization. The organization was called Star Command. Now I remember. All right. Anyway, we have better things to do than remember Star Command lore. I do remember being oddly obsessed with Buzz Lightyear of Star Command as a kid. You know what I think? I think it wasn't the premise of that joke that I tried to set up earlier that kind of fell flat. It's my lack of shoe knowledge. I need to know more about different kinds of shoes so I can keep making jokes about people's fresh kicks. You know, as subtle. I say making jokes, but I do actually enjoy. I do think these shoes do look nice. Is the thing. I'm joshing the guy, but I do think they look nice. So I think if I have a little bit more knowledge on shoes, I'll be able to more effectively do stuff like that. Saying, well, no, I don't think anybody. I don't know how you would take. I think you killed and skinned Buzz Lightyear for your shoes, you know, as a statement. But I don't. I doubt that many would take it well. Yeah. Hmm. I wonder how. I just realized that I don't know how shoes are made. Period. Obviously, they use plastic and different synthetic materials these days. But I don't even remember how they used to make shoes back in the day when they didn't have when Nike wasn't even a thing. From what I remember, a cobbler just like nails shoes. That's a big thing that I remember about cobblers is that they nail stuff. Okay, there we go. Have the boot start up around here. And then maybe a little bit of extra overspill on this leg here. All right, here we go. Actually, Hawk's entire outfit is kind of bad for just tucking and rolling because, obviously she's got the jetpack, which, as I've mentioned before, might be good and might be bad. But also, she's got the helmet with that stupid huge strap. Now, usually helmets are a benefit when doing something dangerous, but I feel like in this situation, that huge metal crown thing that she's got might actually be a bit of a liability if she lands on her or something. Much to consider. I do think it should be more socially acceptable to Dark Souls roll dodge your way around town. Running too. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because it gets you sweaty or something, but I feel like running should be seen as a more dignified thing if you're not even if you're not wearing, lycra or something. Because people you see somebody jogging out on the street, you're like, that's a respectable pastime. That's something cool. But then, like, you see some dude who's just hauling ass trying to get to the nearest McDonald's, and that's a bit of an oddity for some reason. Suddenly that's weird. Suddenly, the people advocating for 20 minutes or more of cardio a day get real quiet when you suggest that the man who runs to eat a burger is less noble somehow than the man who eats. Well, actually, I don't know. Do people still like eat oats before going on long runs? Is that still a thing? Carbo loading and such? Or has that been disproven some way? I don't know. For me, right, the thing is that cardio, like people talk about cardio a lot for like stuff like weight loss and stuff like that, right? I think of cardio as just generally being better for your heart, right? Because that's even where the name comes from, right? Cardio just means related to the heart. And having good cardio is actually something that is severely underrated because I remember when I was in track and field in high school, I used to do crazy amounts of running, just absolutely nuts amount of running, and I hated every second of it. But like the feeling of never having to worry about getting winded going up the stairs, pretty magical. I'm not gonna lie, pretty magical that feeling. Nowadays, I climb a slightly too steep hill, and I'm all like, right? The annoying thing to me about cardio, right? The reason I don't like doing cardio is because it feels like a bit of a waste. Because unlike skeletal muscle, right? Cardio is something that wastes away very easily, right? Because your heart is working 24/7. The reason that most of your muscles, like your biceps and your whatever, right? The reason you can pack on meat pretty easily on those areas is because they're generally at rest, right? They're working a little bit, they're pulling their own weight, but it's not like your heart, which has to beat every second of every hour and every day, sometimes at higher intensity, but never ever stopping, right? So what does that mean for your heart? It means that your heart has to have its tissues replaced very frequently, or else the wear and tear will just add up, and the poor thing will just not be able to keep going. So your cells get replaced in there pretty quick. And what does that mean when your cells get replaced but not torn? It means that they get, whatever you've done to them, whatever upkeep you've done to them, cardio, what have you, is lost. And that sucks. And that's why why I think it's good to do cardio, but I don't get motivated to do cardio as much as, just weight training. Because, on the one hand, cardio is good for you, but on the other hand, it feels like such a waste because you do lose it in the end. very easily. Very, very easily. It just makes me kind of sad. Okay, have the second box right here. Gonna take another sip of Moody. I meant to say I'm gonna take another sip of water. Yeah. One neat health trick that I did figure out very recently, though, petrol jelly. So I have a big tub of petrol jelly that I haven't really used much because I used to think that petrol jelly and Vaseline are the same thing. I used to think that petrol jelly hydrated you, which is not strictly speaking true, I think. Because I think that petrol jelly can help you moisturize, but it doesn't moisturize you, because it just locks in the moisture, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how petrol jelly works. I am gonna have to fact check that real quick. Give me a minute. Does petrol jelly moisturize? He uses some moisturizer. Here we go. Okay, this guy's talking a lot, but here we go. Moisturizers fall into two main categories: occlusives and humectants. Occlusives trap water in the skin and prevent it from evaporating, while humectants draw moisture towards the top of the skin to plump up those cells. Oh. Since petroleum jelly is lipid based, it is insoluble in water and therefore considered an occlusive ointment. The thick salve also qualifies as an emollient, which means it can soothe and moisturize the skin. Oh. You know, that's pretty dope, actually. Petroleum jelly ranks as one of the most effective occlusives for extremely dry skin. To evaluate how well a lotion moisturizes, scientists test for Okay, I'm gonna need a second to read through this. Transepidermal water loss on a patch of skin after application. Petroleum jelly reduces transepidermal water loss by as much as 98%, outperforming both lanolin and mineral oil. Oh, wow. Petroleum jelly works so well because it not only blocks water loss, but the lipids also fill in spaces between the skin cells on the upper layer of the epidermis. Huh. I thought it was just grease. I didn't know you absorbed that shit. Very nice. Way to go, petroleum jelly. Overachieving. Actually, you know what? I actually have an idea. Why don't we make this even bigger? And that way I have to draw less. Hang on. And since we're doing this anyway, I might as well transfer the arm from out here to over here. Actually, you know what? That might be too big. That might be a little bit too big. So maybe just moving it like this. Maybe moving this like this a little bit too. Here we go. And then we're gonna have her having the gun out over here. Hold up. Thank goodness for flipping around the canvas like this. Okay, two, 3, 4. Right, fingers are supposed to go kind of diagonal a little bit when you're holding a gun. There we go. And we can get rid of this thing, which honestly looked a little clunky now in retrospect. Okay, have the thigh holster over. Is it on this side? Yeah, it'd have to be on that side. Okay, there we go. And then like this, like this. Man, being a fool who knows how geometry works is kind of tight. Okay, move this on down a little bit. Okay, very nice. Now let's see Paul Allen's card. Okay. Okay, there you go. Oh, that's a jetpack thing. Whoops. Well, it is kind of big. Let's make it a little bit thicker and let's make it a bit stouter. And then we can have one of the we can have Hawk rolling like this, but we can have one of the uh SA guys kind of over here. Actually, we can probably have the big guy who was crossing his arms do that. And could we even have the crates a little... Can we back the crates up a little bit? Because like these two are right next to each other right now. Okay. Okay, have the other hand steadying the grip. Okay, right around here. I'm trying to fix. Okay, so I think what might actually be good is if in this panel, hang on, down here. All right, so let's establish which direction they're going to be going. So, okay. All right, I'm going to need some pose references for this. Actually, this kind of works here. This one here. All right, so let's zoom this out. And then make this dude turn into Superman. Okay, flip this shoulder around. All the way around. There we go. Okay, now those legs are just a touch silly. There we go. That's a little bit more reasonable. All right, here's how we do it. I'm pretty sure I have somewhere here, like, either somebody looking like they're dancing and getting knocked off, or... Hang on, I've got to have something I can retool into this. Yeah, one of these would be good. One of these, like, more idle ones. Close, but not... Here we go. One of these three, alright, so... Okay. Perfect, 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 perfect. Alright. I'm gonna take a quick sip of water. Okay. Okay. Oh, we gotta put this guy on the ground now. I kind of like the image of this. Diving directly into this dude's boob. I can almost hear like a metallic sound. Clonk. Have you guys ever seen that one anime gif of that one of like a girl running up to another girl and she's just like, "Oh, you're safe," and she's like petting her, and then like there's this other guy who's just standing beside them, and he gets just catapult style tackled by another guy who was just hanging out on screen off screen. Hmm. Should I rotate this guy a little more? This is almost like a crossbody more than a tackle. I don't know. I think it fits well, though. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. You forgot you saw that. Okay, turn around like this. Actually, I can just kind of move him around like so. This honestly, I do have a little bit of a soft spot for tackles like this, where it's just one dude doing everything in his power, just desperately throwing all his body weight into it. This is what a tackle should look like, I think. Just some absolute Madden shit. Does the gun get knocked out of her hand, or does she grip onto that thing? What's a rondel? Hang on, I gotta Google what a rondel is. Oh, is it like oh, is it like a dagger? Oh, that's what a rondel is. Okay. All right, so this dude was packing a knife. I see. I need to remember that. Yeah. Honestly, I think I think that out of like all the different military knives I've seen, to be fair, I haven't seen that many military knives, but I think of the different military knives, I think the Fairburn Sykes is definitely the most menacing. Which I say that because the Rondell reminds me a lot of what the Fairburn Sykes looks like. Yeah, unlike the K bar from the U.S. military, which has a. So to give you a reference, right? So this is the K bar knife, which is kind of the quintessential U.S. military knife, right? You see how it's only got a single bladed edge with a little bit of another edge right here at the back, and then you compare that to the Fairburn Sykes. I feel like this one's just much more menacing, right? I think it's the fact that like this one is vaguely trying to, it's based on the Bowie knife, I think. So it's vaguely got a little bit of utility use. So Bowie knife. Yeah, it's definitely loosely based on the Bowie knife. So the K bar has at least a little bit, right, of plausible deniability in that, oh, this is a survivalist knife. The Fairburn Sykes is meant to kill people. This is a mean looking knife. Okay, so anyway, all that is to say that well, first of all, okay, just a little bit closer. What happens if I use the... Hang on, what happens if I use the... Huh. Okay, so this is what happens if I use the perspective zoom, and this is what happens if I do the anti-perspective zoom. I think this looks a little bit better. I am, however, going to move these two just a little to the left. Also, that one bit from Kung Fu Panda 2 where it's like, I have been waiting for this day for 30 years, planning my revenge, and I will have it exactly as I envisioned it. And I envisioned it a little to the left. Okay, this dude just popping off. The other guy, however, will sneak through back here. I don't know. Can we make this crate just a little bit longer, maybe? Yeah, okay, that works. Yeah, this guy's gonna duck over a little bit. Okay, then we pull up on panel 3. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep going till maybe the top of the hour, and then I'll start closing out. Okay. Okay. Right leggy kind of up like this. Left leggy being used as a footstool. I think is this like a monkey style? It reminds me of a monkey style kung fu pose. Where is it? Like I feel like I've seen this pose somewhere before. I swear I have. Hang on. Yeah, here we go. It reminds me a little bit of this pose. Maybe if I find it on Wikipedia, I'll be able to get a better quality image or something. I wonder to what extent we have all sorts of different kung fu styles, which take their inspiration from like different animals. I wonder to what extent that might have been a retroactive thing. Hang on. Because there's no way one dude who looked at a monkey and was like, yeah, no, I want to dance like that guy. Okay. Okay, so in Chinese it's pronounced ho chuan, So maybe if I use that, Ho Chuan stance. Yeah, you can see. Is this the same dude? No, shut up. What? Why? How? All right. Anyway, that's that. We can worry about that some other time. The mystery of why this one dude seems to be in every monkey stance image example that I could find. This dude is the only guy on Earth who knows monkey kung fu. Okay, just a little bit further back. Okay. Come on, bud. You remember how to draw this gun. You designed it. Please. Okay. Actually, the fact that it's called Ho Chuan, right, in Chinese, that reminds me. I had this memnic, right? What I learned that apparently in Mandarin there was this memnic to remember which way each direction is. Like it goes Qian Ho Zuo Yo, and it's like Qian, and it's got a little hand movements too. I can't really show it off while I'm holding the tablet here, but so you point your fist forward, then back, left, then right. So Qian forward, Yo Qian Ho back, Zuo left, Yo right. Qian Ho Zuo Yo. Yeah. Yeah. I remember one time when I was watching the video to learn this mnemonic, it was one of the examples was to learn how to like do the and tell a taxi driver directions, right? So the guy was like desperately going like he was, you could tell that he was panicking, trying to figure out where to get this driver to go, right? He was like 钱不是坐nothing more harrowing in this life or the next than trying to guide a taxi to a place you don't know. Right? Like it's easy enough if it's like a well-known public place, right? Like an airport or something, right? Because then the taxi guy, he knows where it is. But like if it's a place that it doesn't show up on Google Maps or something, and you have to give manual directions, that's harrowing. That is, you feel that if you fumble that, you feel it in your bones. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's never been less important, but all the same, I feel it's vitally important that people learn to know where North is from them. You know, it's one of those things, right? It's one of those things that I hope never becomes lost. You know, figuring out which way is north. I don't know. There's something very primal about cardinal directions. Like being able to know that. Not never in my. I think there's only been a couple of times when I've used the cardinal directions to actually figure out where to go, and that's when it's something called like North Street or West Street or something like that. Right? It's directions based language, but I don't know. I really do hope that people continue having a reason to learn those directions. It feels like we'll lose something very precious if we don't maintain that. Yeah. That's why it's also gotten harder to, the other day I tried to do, what do you call, like analog clock directions, right? So when you say like, look out, 12 o'clock, it's supposed to say, look out in front of you. And it's a little bit more accurate than say just shouting out, okay, look a little bit to your left, but not too much, right? You can just say 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock or something. I think it used to be like pilot slang, right? That's where that came from. Particularly since planes have a very specific set of orientation. This gun needs to be way smaller. Okay. Very a very flexible kind of pose, this one. Not in the sense that it can be turned into other different poses, but that it kind of shows off the character's flexibility. I think this is straight up a yoga pose. Okay, there we go. This arm is way too short. Or rather, the body is comparatively too big now. There we go. All right, I think I finished this drawing of Hawk, and then I'm going to call it a night. Okay, there we go. I I feel like it's going to be hilarious how much the wings get in the way of literally everything. Honestly, it's kind of awesome. Because that's the point, right? Like the point of the wings, the point of making the wings this big is to make them big, clunky, and obtrusive because that's how they're supposed to feel. That's how wearing a jetpack in real life would feel like. But above all else, even if it looks clunky, even if it looks kind of uncomfortable, it needs to look cool. Okay, then a little bit smaller than that. There we go. I've said this before. I think the next model that I'm going to work on is actually a model of the jetpack. Just so Lord knows I can keep it a consistent size. Would it be optimistic to think that I can finish this comic before the end of August? I think that's a little optimistic, but maybe before the end of September, I think I could finish this thing. Gonna need a lot of elbow grease, though. Oh, that head is massive. My bad. It's always the helmet. The helmet is what I have the most problems finding the right proportions for. I give her a big old bobblehead. And then maybe just a little bit of more flatness for this thing. Okay, then a little bit like this. Then like this. Then like this. I really need to get this jetpack model done. Okay. I'd say that's a solid 60% of the... I want to say 50%, but like I've also done the models for the final panel, so and that's gonna take not too long. So I'm gonna call it like 60%. All right, good work, people. Page, which page would this be? Page 6, right, that's right. Okay, how many people we got in here? 4 people? All right, let's go find somebody to write then. It's been kind of a day, man. Long day. Oh, yeah. There's this one channel that V told me about that just streams, that has a 24-hour stream of just chickens. We're gonna run right into that. Let's go say hi. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening. Later. Bye.